Economic Forum concludes. Our reporter Liabo Setho caught up with some of the exhibitors at the event.
One of the most loveliest things about hosting or a country hosting these kind of events, the World Economic Forum, is that you get to meet great designers, you get to meet great entrepreneurs, you get to meet people who do amazing things. On the sidelines of the 2017 World Economic Forum that was held here in Durban, I've had the opportunity to meet a couple of those entrepreneurs. One of them is Palesa Kwichana, and she's the managing director of the KZN Fashion Chamber. Is that correct, Palesa? Fashion Council. Palesa, tell me about the Fashion Council. It sounds like a very posh and council-y kind of idea. What does it do?
It must be in the name, I must say. So we're a government agency. We're funded by our Provincial Economic Development Department as well as eThekwini municipality. Established in 2009, not-for-profit organization that we are. So loosely put, our mandate is to grow the industry. And I think it was quite forward-thinking of the department to realize that the clothing, textile and design industry could actually be the solution for this unemployment rate that we have, especially because it has women and youth mainly working. So the value chain of this is quite large. You think just skinny models on the ramp and it ends there. There's a whole industry behind that, from manufacturing, production, retailing, and even just planning of your range. So I'm also learning that there's so much more, and that's what the Fashion Council is here to do, to make sure that we streamline it, we get the best out of it, and we maximize on what we can do for the industry.
You must agree with me that one of the biggest threats that the textile and fashion industry faces is the issue of imports coming into the country, and that has given the death or birth to the death of the textile industry in the country as we know it. How concerned are you about that?
It's a huge problem. Sadly, it started more than 10 years ago, but for me, I think it's a two-pronged strategy. One, we need to create demand. So it's actually a mind shift for consumers to say, are you conscious that every time you purchase something locally, you're creating jobs? Two, also we need the conglomerates that are retailing to say, how much are you going to be part of the solution where you stock locally made? But we see the Mr. Price Foundation are doing that, they're developing, but I think we need to get to a certain stage. So one of the things we do as a Fashion Council, we create industry platforms. So where if there's a SA Fashion Week, London, platforms, we take our designers that are, but we need to get them to that level to also to say their products are at the certain level where we can start getting the demand. Fortunately, we have the young gentleman like Kuladuma here of Maposa, because I think he's forging this, and you see some brands are saying, come through, tell other teams that are coming behind you, say, how did you get it right? So we're seeing that there's a huge movement. The only concern for me, as South Africans, we still think that local is only when you go Umabo, Umshad. We don't see it as a day-to-day apparel, something you can do. But further to that, the textile industry is in everywhere. The carpets, your linen. There's non-apparel products that are within the textile industry that we need to say that you're engaging with us on a day-to-day basis on more than just what you're wearing. But are we conscious? But even from government, from procurement, hospitals, the linen that they use, uniforms. So it's so huge and it's so broad. In KZN, unfortunately, because of the weather, we are right in the opportune climate where hemp and flax can be actually manufactured. It even speaks to agriculture, agro-processing. For me, it's something that the government needs to take seriously. That could actually be the panacea of helping this unemployment rate in the country.
Palesa, one of the biggest, another biggest challenge is the issue of cost. I know that a lot of people find that the cost of locally manufactured goods sometimes even exceeds those that are imported. While one wants to support the locally manufactured products, but they could find that sometimes the price does become unaffordable and maybe way too steep. How do you balance making sure that the business remains sustainable, a designer remains, open and in business, while making sure that I, as a consumer or a customer, I still get my goods, but I'm not hit too much in the pocket?
So for me, it's a two-way strategy. This is me, the activist in me comes in. Every revolution has a cost. And if we start thinking that the more demand we create, there's more volumes, because in any business it's economies of scale. So if all of us individually say, I'm actually going to try from now onwards, money, how much do I split that I make sure that I demand locally manufactured and designed products so that all of us buying, so that it becomes an economical a process for even people that are doing it. And then also to say that we need to put our foot down and say no more. We need to be the consumers of the stuff that's also going to bring back pocket, because when you buy, your mother, your aunt, your daughter, your son are getting jobs, so it becomes a cycle. So it's about paradigm shift and say, maybe let's do this, because we do overspend on certain things, whether it's alcohol, expensive cars, but then you want to be minimalist with something that's actually going to change the industry and even socio-economics issues. But another thing for me, for designers, unfortunately, it's still a mindset where we allow the Europes to dictate what's in, what works in terms of body shaping, and they're not designing for us. And my saddest thing as an African woman, I kind of want to fabric that stretches, so that even the prints that I want, it's still not very comfortable for me. So that's when you need the technocrats to say, bring the prints, but make it so that the fabric is usable. And again, this whole thing of fashion shows of skinny models. How many times you look at a garment and say, it's not for me, because maybe the line are too plunging, it's too tight. So one of the things I said to the designers, your consumer wants to be dignified. We are African people. We want to dress in a certain way. We like to looking good, but you don't want to be too skimpy. So when you design, don't go looking internet. Yes, take international trends for inspiration, but adapt it so that, well, my mother, my aunt, my middle-aged woman, Balis, who's got spending power, would she want to be dressed like that or not?
Balis, just very quickly before
yes.
I leave you, what's in fashion trends? What works?
You know, for me, quite frankly, I don't subscribe to that. Do you? Do what works for you. And the thing is, it evolves so many times. And in a week, how many times you are in corporate like this, you're in jeans, you put of color. We are South African nations. We're so fluid, we're diverse. And I'm done with that. And yes, we're going to take whatever Europe tells us is in, but like sister child, do you?
Thank you so much, Balisa. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. That was Balisa Kwichana. She is the Managing Director at KZN Fashion Council. I've asked her what works fashion. She says, sister, do what works for you. She doesn't subscribe to the fashion trends. But I want to take you behind the scenes of the Durban Exhibition Center, which is right across the World Economic, where the World Economic Forum was held at the Durban ICC. We have a number of exhibitors who are exhibiting their stuff. And let me just speak to them and find out what their experience are, what they're selling, how local is it, and how business is doing. Hello, ladies. Hi. Sorry, sir. How are you?
Good.
I'm fine, thank you. I can see you enjoying your glass of wine. Ladies, this wine looks very, very nice. I love the purses. I love the wallets that they seem quite like they genuine house business. And are these made locally?
Yes, so it's South African wines, born in Stellenbosch. We actually have two main wines. One is a Viognier and one is a Cape Land, using the Pinotage, which is South Africa's indigenous varietal. And because we tend to do slightly different varietals, we focus actually also on exotic leather goods and perfumes. And so we've extended into unique areas, which actually shows some of the artisanal development that is available in South Africa.
I take it that we export these a lot to Europe. Are they enjoying what South Africa, our homegrown grapes?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a huge demand for Cape Land. In fact, our Cape Land won top 5 Pinotage blend in the country. So as a result, we've seen our wines get onto SAA and consumed by people from around the world. So really a flagship of the South African wine spectrum.
Lastly, how has this WEF experience been like for you? Have you had a lot of people stopping by your stalls and asking about these products? Have you made deals?
It's fantastic. I think that being here, seeing the energy in Durban is really exciting. We've been in Durban for 9 years, and to have this kind of momentum and this kind of leadership of delegates from around the world actually coming and experiencing South African products is an incredible honor, and we were very, very delighted to partake.
Thank you very much for sharing your story with us. We do wish you the best of luck. Well, I'm going to move over just a little bit to my left now to see what another exhibitor has got in store. It is Sooky, and I see here it's hair care products. Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Tell me about your product, Sooky. Sooky is a very Sooky name, exotic.
Yes.
You know, very African. Tell me about this.
So Sooky literally means hair in Lingala, which is one of the indigenous languages from the DRC. And we opted for a name that was African, universal, because it means a lot of things in a lot of languages, and simple. So that's the origin of our name. Our products are all handmade in Johannesburg, and we only use natural ingredients. So you're not going to get your artificial fillers or anything that's detrimental to A, your health, and B, your hair care journey, and how you actually take care of your hair.
How many people help you to put these products together?
To honestly tell you, I have 2 people helping me and myself. So we all make this together from everything.
Tell me, miraculous oil.
Yes.
How miraculous is it?
Well, if you have any issues with hairline, promotion of hair growth, and repairing split ends, this will be the miracle for you, because as naturals, a lot of people going back to natural hair have issues with their hairlines because they've been doing braids, they've been relaxing, and a lot of an aggressive hair routine will have damage. So what you want to do is you want to put the care back into your hair and take the power back and to do your hair by yourself at home.
Someone would say that this is an industry that is growing and probably one that everyone is getting into, giving us what is natural hair care products. How difficult was it to get into the industry, or how easy was it?
It was easy for me to get into the industry because I was one of the first to get into the industry in South Africa. So at the time, it was about 3.5 years ago when I started. So at the time, there weren't a lot of people. Today, it is the market is being more and more saturated, which is a good thing, because at the end of the day, if we can have more products made locally, it means we can consume more local products, and we won't need to go outside of the country or go outside of the continent to consume and to buy. More exporting, less importing.
That's true. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And I'll just go to one last person. You remember that the theme of the World Economic Forum is mainly to advance technological development in the African continent. And believe it or not, in art and in fashion, there is an element of technology. This is what Rhino Recon Group does. Let's find out from them exactly how they take fashion to the computer. Hi, tell me a little bit about Rhino Recon Group.
Okay, Rhino Recon Group is an IT company established here in Durban in 2015, and we basically wanted to create digital solutions that help individuals within the black community to be able to boost and build their own businesses. One of our products is wizard.co.za, which is currently up here, which is an online marketplace for African fashion and art. Okay. So the platform, basically designers can able to list their services on the platform. They're able to showcase what they've done, showcase how they do it, and the prices and their contact details. We're trying to build a directory of designers. And also another side to the platform is a marketplace where artists and designers can sell their brands. Those who have building their own brands or trying to get into the world can be able to get their brands out there through the platform, as well as artists.
How easy was it to get into this kind of business? Because I know that a lot of people still want to go into the shop, feel the material, look at your work, see it physically, and say, I like the way he's made this dress. But when you look at it on the screen, sometimes you're not so sure. You're like, oh, it looks good, but can I get the same sort of quality as when I go into the shop?
Well, it's really not easy to get that. So what we've done is that we have added a rating system on the platform, which basically each seller, as in terms of their quality, as it increases, we are able to rate them into the stars and able to give them certain preferences: gold sellers, bronze sellers, silver sellers, and it basically allows each designer and seller to be able to have, so that when a person comes on the platform, they can be able to know that this person is approved by the platform. Those who come and sign up on the platform will be working to meet that standard in order for them to up their sales in terms of the business. So we know that people want to feel it. But if you're not in Durban, and there's a seller who's in Durban, but you know that that dress is your dress, or you know that that piece will be worth something one day. You want to purchase it. We are able to facilitate that for you. And because you already understand that the seller is already, in terms of a gold standard, you know that this person has been highly rated. Other people have been able to accredit them. And we realize that if a person doesn't do well, no one is going to give you a great review, a raving review. But if your service is good, people are trustworthy when it comes to rating their service and saying, this person, I trust this person has done me well.
Thank you so much for sharing your Rhino Recon group with us. We do wish you the best of luck. Well, if I were to start going around this exhibition, I would never finish. There's so much talent around here. A lot of people showcasing African material, which is quite in. We love African prints lately, but I've seen some very, very good companies, nice exhibitors, good products, homegrown products, and these are the kind of things that you find at conferences such as these. So if you are also at home and have a business, you'd want to at least sign up to these things and let us see your business and let's see how far it can go. And maybe, it might be that one big empire one day.
All right, thank you very much, Liabo Setho. I like the payoff line there, but if you're not in Durban and you know that what we are bringing you from Durban you're interested in, then we can bring it to you. That's what we do right here on News Today. Thank you very much. As we wrap up the World Economic Forum from Durban, we take a break, and when we come back,